what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have a lot to talk about in today's video. The market is going crazy right now. A lot of stocks are tanking off. We're also going to be covering some big earnings for this week and just some good plays. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of today's video and let us know what stocks you are watching in the comments down below, and we'll probably cover them in tomorrow's video. But make sure to stick around to the end. We have a lot of great plays. And Tom, let's get right into it.
Yeah, I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday weekend, but there was some pretty crazy news that came out while the market was closed and then while we had a half a day on Friday. And, there's actually a new coronavirus variant that's kind of getting pretty rampant here. The new corona variant, Omicron, has been rocking the markets over the holiday break. And what a time for this news to hit, right? While we're all on break and while there's less trading volume. So it honestly could have affected the market a little bit more than usual, but it seems like every year we've been experiencing a new strain of coronavirus, like right around winter time or like right as we're heading into winter. So it's definitely crazy to see this coming out, and it's hitting the market pretty bad. As we can see, the SPY on Wednesday ended up closing pretty strongly up here at the top. And then as the market was closed on Thursday, we got new news about this variant coming out. And then we can see the SPY ended up tanking down on Friday during the half day. It was a pretty bad move to the downside. So definitely throw the SPY and the indices like the Dow on your guys' radar. The Dow closed down over 1,100 points with their futures on Friday. That was a pretty bad drop. And then it just kept making new lows even as the market closed. So this is a pretty scary thing, but there is some good news, and CNBC is reporting that Moderna says that they could have an Omicron variant vaccine already ready for early 2022. So that sounds really good that we already have a vaccine in the works, and hopefully the variant doesn't hit too hard.
Yeah, it was just brutal on Friday. Like you said, Tom, it was a half day, and a lot of times on these half days, like the trading isn't it's not as volatile like we saw on Friday. But so many stocks were in the red. There's too many to name, obviously, but kind of like you mentioned, Moderna was actually looking pretty good off of their news. They closed up over 20%. And at the same time, we saw some of the other, I guess you can say, lockdown plays like Zoom, Teladoc, and even Peloton explode up on Friday too. So maybe keep these ones on your radar. I know that a lot of these are actually at some pretty good levels, so maybe it's not a bad time to get some shares for the long term, especially with this news coming out.
Yeah, definitely. And one that we've been talking about a lot has been Zoom. I know you mentioned it, and they bounced off that $200 support, and it looks like they're back on the uptrend. So hopefully they can start doing well. I know that everyone's been talking about Zoom a lot lately. I know they had some bad earnings numbers, and then they ended up falling through support. But man, if coronavirus starts getting worse again, I feel like they could end up going on a pretty nice uptrend. We can see that if we go to the max daily chart here, the last time they went on this huge uptrend was during COVID. And then as COVID's been going away, they've been slowly going down, but hopefully their outlook gets a little bit better, because that's the main reason that they've been dropping, Mike, is because they've been saying that people aren't going to be as home as much with COVID going away. But with it coming back, hopefully we get some of these reopening plays that do better. And then like we were talking about a little bit before the video, Mike, some of these cruise lines had some terrible drops. Look at Carnival down over 10%. We have RCL down. Even some of these airlines had a pretty bad day on Friday.
Yeah, it's definitely looking rough. It's just now is a very important time to be very strategic with what stocks they're playing. Personally, I would really look at some of the lockdown plays like Zoom, Teladoc, and Peloton, or maybe even some of these vaccine stocks like Moderna to the upside, and then some of the cruise lines and airlines to the downside. So good stuff there. And then Tom, what other news do we have for this week?
Yeah, we actually have a pretty big testimony coming up. Powell and Yellen are going to be testifying on Tuesday, and it says that Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, fresh from his nomination for a second term by President Joe Biden, is due to testify on the CARES Act, the central bank's pandemic era stimulus program. So that's going to be pretty awesome to see. He's going to be testifying before the Senate Banking Committee in Washington on Tuesday, along with Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. So it's going to be a pretty big event, I think. It's not going to be too huge. I don't think it's going to move the markets, but it's definitely going to give some insight into some different stuff. Obviously, it's going to be pretty interesting to watch if it is televised. So we'll definitely have more information on that in tomorrow's video as we get closer to that event. But anytime Powell and Yellen speak, that's usually a pretty big event for the market. And as we've been on this downtrend, hopefully they have some positive stuff to say.
All right, there we go. And then what earnings do we have for this week?
We actually have some pretty big ones. On Tuesday, we have Salesforce. A lot of people have been talking about them. We also have Hewlett and Packard, which can be pretty big. But on Wednesday, I think that's going to be the biggest day. We have CrowdStrike, Snowflake, and then AI and after hours. So sounds like a pretty good earnings day on Wednesday. I will say the rest of the earnings don't seem to be too big throughout the week. We do have Dollar General, Hibbett Sports, and Big Lots, but there's not really too many other huge ones. I feel like over the past couple of weeks, we've had some big ones like Walmart, Nvidia, and different ones like that. And I feel like the earnings season is starting to slow down just a little bit.
All right, good stuff. And let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have SMH to the downside.
Yeah, go ahead and make SMH fall right below 297.50 to the downside.
All right, and then we have Microsoft also to the downside.
Yeah, go ahead and make them fall below 328 even.
All right, and then with the last one, we have Facebook also to the downside.
Man, I've been wanting Facebook to go up with this metaverse news, but go ahead and make them break down below 331.90.
All right, so we are watching these three plays for potential day trades to the downside tomorrow, only if they break below the level Tom listed. So definitely keep these ones on your radar. And I just want to shout out our member of the day really quickly, and that is Power Sports Mania. So thank you so much for being a great member of the Discord and sharing a lot of great information. We really appreciate it. And huge shout out to Power Sports Mania. And then let's cover the questions from the previous video really quickly. All right, so we have Johnny Cash saying, load up on DraftKings. Well, I'm with you for sure. I mean, it's been getting beaten down horribly over like the past couple months. It's one of my favorite stocks for the long term. It really hasn't been any major catalyst for this fall over like the past couple of months. But then again, it's a growth stock. It's extremely volatile, and it's just how the market is sometimes. But overall, I love it at this level, and I'm very excited to see how it does over the next couple months.
Yeah, definitely. And we've been targeting $35 for a little while now, and it looks like we are getting a couple of bounces here. So hopefully $35 ends up playing as a pretty big support. I know that some of these technicals have not been doing too well lately, but hopefully this support ends up holding up. We've been on a pretty bad downtrend, and I like how we're on the second leg. So I feel like that we could end up hitting here and going back up over the next couple of months. Like he said, loading up, it's a pretty good idea down here. I'll be honest. I think it's a pretty big discount, and we're at a pretty big support. And even if we break 35, I don't see DraftKings going any lower than 30 at the worst case scenario.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah, hopefully. With everything going on, though, who knows? But hey, one good thing I thought about, Mike, is that while DraftKings is while they've been going down, with the new coronavirus variant coming out, maybe while more people at home, DraftKings might do better with that as well.
Yeah, definitely possible. All right, and then we have Hunter mentioning PayPal. So, Tom, we were covering PayPal a little bit. I think it was a couple days ago, but this one doesn't look too bad. Maybe for some short puts, maybe for averaging into shares. I mean, they're a solid company, and they've been getting destroyed lately too. So, I'm really eyeing them for some short put options.
Yeah, me too. I think that'll be an amazing way to go. They're kind of like DraftKings. They've gotten beaten down. And, this company is a lot more established than DraftKings is too. So hopefully they end up going back up there. They've been a great company for the past few years. And, keep in mind that PayPal is like almost where Elon Musk started, guys. So, keep in mind he had a big role in PayPal in the beginning. I think he was actually one of the guys who pretty much made it. So it was a pretty awesome thing there. And I hope it ends up bouncing off support and going back up, kind of like DraftKings. And hopefully this variant coming out can kind of make some of these stocks that have been going down lately maybe start to go back on the rise.
There we go. So, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything you are watching for tomorrow?
Man, I'm still keeping my eyes on a lot of these reopening plays. We've had a lot of stocks going down pretty drastically lately, like a lot of the cruise lines, like we talked about, like CCL, AAL. You could also just say like RCL, just about any type of reopening play, like cruise lines, airlines, anything like that. Even like Boeing, unfortunately, fell through that $200 support, which was pretty upsetting to see. But, it's creating a lot of big buying opportunities. We have DraftKings down at lows, PayPal down at lows, like we've been talking about. Palantir's even been down here kind of bouncing off their $20 support. So there's definitely lots of stocks to watch. And I feel like that if the overall market starts to go on a bit of a downtrend, we might see some of these growth stocks start to pop up. A lot of these growth stocks, have been down here around lows while the SPY has been continually making new highs. So if we start to see a little bit of a downtrend, maybe some of these lower caps and some of the growth stocks will start to go up as these investors start to transition out of some of these other stocks.
Very good point. Well, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you're an options trader, definitely check out the first link in the description and the comments down below for daily options, swing trades, day trades, and access to an awesome community. You can cancel at any time, and we have a coupon running, so definitely check it out. Also, come join Tom and myself live at Market Open every single day on the Stocked Up Live YouTube channel. The link for that will be in the description down below. We go live right around Market Open, so come join us tomorrow. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.